to call the February 5th, 2014 City Council meeting to order at the Senior Center. If all the council could speak up a little louder, only down to one mic. And usually with 7 mics, we have people hard enough hearing about it. So, first thing on the agenda is called approve the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
The motion second, discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Item 3, approve consent agenda, approve minutes of the January 22nd, 2014 council meeting, and approve Class B beer permit for Pizza Hut.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Got a motion?
Seconded.
That's second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Item number 4, authorize mayor to execute engineering service agreement with Snyder and Associates 2014 Street Improvement Project. Matt, you want to explain that a little bit, Doug? That's what
Sure.
we're talking about.
Yep. Yeah, you have a copy of the scope of services in your packet. This is for them to do the design work on the reconstruction of 17th Street from Redwood Drive to the east dead end. Mill patch and overlay 9th Street from Palm to Cedar, mill patch and overlay 9th Street from Elm to Plum, mill patch and overlay 13th Street, Cherry to dead end, east of Plum, mill patch overlay Locust Street, 8th to 10th, and mill patch Maple Street, 7th to 10th. So those are the reconstruction mill and overlay projects proposed for this year. It doesn't include the seal coat and micro seal projects that we're looking at doing that are part of the list that you were given. So the cost that he's put in here, an estimate is 9.9%, which seems reasonable. We're kind of working to get the thing done, so either we'll lay it out in here, there's 2 ways. He has recommended doing a change order. We talked about this last time. There's also some discussion, and city attorneys here thought, look, there's some risk. He didn't find anything overtly in the state law, but belts and suspenders would say you just go out to bid. On the other hand, Dave Sturm says, given the timing, we're going to be a little late to get the better prices. The fact that they're here and local, and they're going to hold their prices, he thinks you're going to save money by doing the change order. So, and I realize the council people have different opinions, so it's something that people can reasonably disagree about. I don't know that anybody can know for sure which would be the best way to go. But we don't have to decide that tonight, although I'd like some direction because I need to tell him whether he needs to put together bid documents or come back with a change order for your consideration. That would come up at your next meeting.
How many bids do we have on that last building? Is there 3?
Two or maybe just 2. We usually just get 2. I mean, Western and and then, you know, Carly and PCS in terms of for the concrete. So, unfortunately, we're in an area that is not
Right.
terribly competitive.
And was this part of a 2-year package? Last year, didn't we approve a 2-year street?
The bond, that's right. We did a 2-year bond. So we weren't planning on issuing any bonds this year. We plan on using bond funds plus some other fund balances and stuff to do the work in the coming year.
Has anything like this happened before where you changed, you issued a change order?
Well, there's a lot of times there's change orders. I think this is probably a little larger than what normally you'd see as a change order. I remember now off the top of my head, was it 3? Seems like it was over about $3 million, a little over. Did last time, so this represents about a 25%, which is a fairly significant change order. You know, it's kind of in that no man's land. It's small enough that it's not real enticing to attract a lot of bids. It's big enough you could though, and it seems kind of large for a change order, so it's kind of a gray area. I don't know if Dave or anybody can throw any more light. It's
I guess risk involved, but it does save a lot of money. So,
When you say risk, what?
well, I would say risk as in if another contractor raises an issue, has to do it, then I would say that we have to go back to the bid process.
seems like we have a history of contractors raising issues.
Especially recently.
I can think of at least 2 times when somebody has kind of spoken up and said, hey, we didn't get a chance at it, so.
Is our current contractor willing to hold the price?
They are, they said they would hold the price. They're gonna be in here, they've got to do Laurel Street, so he's gonna have a plan to be open here, so it'd be very convenient for him to go in. So part of it, they felt we would save money and you wouldn't have the mobilization cost, plus it might be done in a more timely fashion, I suppose. Someone gets the bid, but they tack it on to a project, and we got one of these late fall, and the weather gets bad, and it's the headaches that go with that. But there's other, risk.
I wonder if it also depends on how long these changes have been contemplated. So they were coming up, say, last summer, last fall, that could be an argument for keeping this as a change order as well. So,
I guess before the first thing you have to decide if you want to award the design, construction contract, engineering contract to Snyder's. Then, once you approve that, we can talk a little bit and decide how you'd like to tell them to proceed.
So, if we do the change order, they're gonna get started on this spring,
Yes.
right away, get done.
If we go out to bids, we
Probably looking at
may
fall,
not.
be my
Yes,
guess.
it's the way it's going, but less likely that it gets done by the time you finish.
And do we need to open this agreement with Snyder's up for bids too, or is it okay to just?
I mean, engineering contracts, professional services, you don't normally do on a bid basis, but we do look in terms of a reasonableness of cost. And we talked to them before, they were talking about 15% for new construction and 10% for the mill and overlay, and kind of looked at what other bids and prices, and we kind of negotiated and said, we thought, 9.9 would be a fair amount, and we agreed to do that. They've got a lot of surveying, a lot of work history here, so it's convenient. They've done a lot of work already in terms of the survey and scoping out these projects. So we have gone out to bid in the past, and the last couple times we've decided, it's kind of like, I suppose it's just kind of like legal services. If you got a good attorney and you're satisfied with the professional services, you can continue.
So we aren't required to.
Not required to.
Well, I make a motion to authorize the mayor to execute engineering services agreement with Snyder and Associates for 2014 street improvement projects.
I second that.
Got a motion second. Any other discussion?
Do you know which way the council's planning to go?
You mean in terms of, well, I think we'll decide, first of all, get your engineer, and then
Right.
decide,
Go ahead.
kind of put it in 2 pieces so we can.
We can address it back on administrative report too, the second part.
Sure.
So, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, Snyder is gonna do the street improvement projects, engineering services. Item 5 is administrative report, okay? Basically, I'll just start off with the street project, because we're underneath this report now. Could we just say, we're gonna do this, if somebody wants to bid it, they gotta start in the spring and be done? Somebody comes up and says, we'll just say Carly comes up and says, I want to bid it. Well, our bid date's gonna be April 1 or something like that, it would be done by May 30th or something like that. Can we do something in that area?
You can put requirements, I mean, you could say, look, you have to start within a certain time and reduce the number of days that they have, construction days. Again, part of it's the weather. If the weather's really bad, they can't think about it if it gets started late. What normally will happen, of course, the more of those conditions, usually the higher the bid.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna get other bids, and if they have an opportunity, realize this is a small one, but if it fits in, either early, middle, or late, they're gonna give you a better price. Dave did not feel that Henningson's and PCS would hold to last year's price if you go out to bid. Can't tell you what you'll get.
Right.
And that's why, kind of between a rock and a hard place.
Maybe the thing to do is to contact the other contractors and bid on stuff in the past to see if this is even interested to them.
I mean, I sure they would bid, but, you know, since it's a relatively small project, it's not gonna be higher on their priorities, and the
Right.
more experience, I get to be flexible in order, because the price is important to us, given our limited resources and a lot that we need to do.
Right.
So Dave, in the worst case scenario, we say, we want to take the same price we had last year and go with this project. And we'll just say, my Western Engineering out of Harlan says, you know, I want to bid on this. So the worst case scenario, we've got to go to bid.
Yep,
So we can set dates and do that way.
yep.
Okay. That gives you guys some options.
Yeah.
So you want me to approach them and say, let's get a change order and talk about it, but when it comes before the council, with the understanding that there's an objection, that it'll go out to bid.
Western might already have too much work, I mean, you don't know.
I don't know. I mean, they submitted a bid last time, and so this was lower than what they bid the last project, which was much bigger, so it was more economy of scale. So, given another year and those economies of scale, it's hard to believe they would give us a lower price. But, you know, they could always come and say, we would have given you a little, there's no way to know unless you go out to bid. And so, it always puts you in a difficult position. Probably if we were a private business, we'd probably negotiate and do it as a
Right.
change order. As a public entity, you take more risk.
But the risk is just a complaint, somebody saying, I want a chance at it.
Yeah. And I don't know legally, I mean, even if they said that, we decided just to do it through a change order, what the recourse is, but might not look nice, though. In the paper, looking like we didn't give someone else an opportunity. Jeff's gonna hang us up.
So it is possible we can kind of ask people if they want a chance at it?
I
before
think we
just
can,
do a change order?
you know, I think we can go ahead and say, you know, we're gonna do the change order and let them bring it to our attention before we get started. We want, you know, we want early start and early finish on this project. That's the parameters. And go that way with it. I mean, that'd be,
I mean, we could approach them if they guarantee they'll put in a bid at a lower price. We don't want to go to all the trouble and the expense.
Well,
If they're not interested in coming up with a lower
we couldn't let
price.
them bid it. If they're gonna bid it, then let everybody bid it, so.
Well, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I think being fair and letting the other contractors know, they might even just pass on it if you, but.
Yeah. That might be the easiest way to just call both of them, say, you know, here's what's gonna happen. You get a problem with that? Yes or no? Okay, what else you got on the table?
Well, you got your budgets, that's part of the biggest thing we're working on. Just report, the city won the Tree City USA Award again for, I don't know, just 18 years in a row or something. There'll be an awards luncheon
Within your
April
office, you
3rd.
can look right in the wall.
I know, I don't have that in front of me. And that'll be in Johnson on April 3rd. Hawkins Construction has completed the work on the blower building. Okay. So we got everything, certifications from the engineers. Didn't have time to get that on the agenda for approval, but that final approval of that project and payout. We still retain some money, but given the cost, it's going to be about a wash, so we don't probably anticipate paying any more money to Shungshire. We've been doing those nutrient level tests we talked about because of the new requirements for nutrient removal in the effluent at the wastewater treatment plant. So far, our nitrogens have been coming in between 4 and 5, which is good because, I mean, the requirement is just to bring those in under 10. This is 10 parts per million. The phosphorus, though, has been running between 1 and 2, and you need to be under 1. The one thing we want to kind of find out, though, is that cold weather, I mean, how your oxidization in those tanks is not as efficient in real cold weather, plus, you know, you can't get rid of your sludge as easily, you're kind of accumulating more, and that does have an effect. So we want to go ahead and run some tests and see how it was responding to warmer weather, and then once we have a good handle on what our needs and problems are, we'll probably look at contracting with an engineering firm to do the test. And council room renovations are underway. If anybody has a few minutes afterwards, one thing, once you got the carpet and all the furniture out, you notice you can skateboard on it. It has a dip, and, you know, maybe we could look at trying to jack it up to level it a little bit. Also, something slipped by me, the windows, and I think when you get in, you see it right now, they're gonna put some trim around the edge, like the wainscoting, but the insets and all is just that walnut, not particle board, but plywood veneer. And I don't think it's gonna look that good. I think it should be finished like we did the front office windows. So I've asked them to give me a change order to see what that would cost, and maybe someone wants to go and look at it and say, Doug, you're too much of a perfectionist, so it looked all right like this, or, yeah, we ought to try to change it. So they're gonna give us a cost. I also talked to Steve Livingston about giving us a price. And, so we'll see. Those are a couple of things, though, that you might want to look at doing, adding to the project. That's all.
Okay, any questions for Doug? Now, on the mayor's report, we've had our first snow. Street department does another bang up job. I mean, you go to the city, they'll do Omaha all day today, and you really appreciate what you get done here. I mean, it was just a mess of work. And just, they're not gonna come back to the east side of town till later tonight in Omaha or tomorrow. So I mean, we get down here and start through with, I want to thank the street department with their diligence, and that's a lot of work for them, so. We'll go to committee, council committee reports. We'll start with Steve. Not Steve, Chris. Excuse me.
I had the fire department last night. It was a real quick meeting due to the snow. They did a little training on entry on steel doors, and then they paid bills. Eight.
At 8?
At 8.
Okay.
I
Kathy?
didn't have, the landfill, Ashley and I would have had that last night, but they postponed it due to the
Okay.
weather.
Lori?
Up until tomorrow.
Okay. Bob?
The chamber had an orientation gathering for new members, and
Okay.
so I'm now oriented.
Well, that's good. You look better.
One other thing.
Okay.
The board training, I sent out an email. I heard from 3. Kathy said she could make it. 2 others said they were going to be out of town. So I was a little reluctant to respond and say, yeah, hold that date, because I didn't want to throw a party, no one could come, very few. So if you would, look at your calendars and just tell me when would be a good time. At this juncture, either later, towards the end of March or April. And I'll see if I can find a date that works for Jeff. So I doubt if the 12th is still open, plus a couple of people are going to be gone, I knew for sure, so.
We want to keep this open to all our boards, P&Z, cable TV. If we've been on board, they can come and kind of get an idea what some responsibility should be, or questions and ask, stuff in that area. So, good training.
And if we wait till April, we have it back in our new council.
Yeah. Okay, clerk report.
The bills total $51,724.57.
Make a motion to pay the bills.
I'll second.
Got a motion second, discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Number 9, public forum, time and place for anybody from the council. Public forum is not on the agenda. Anything from the public? Hearing none. Going to already go into closed session, discussion of initiating litigation to take title of abandoned property as allowed in section 21.5 of the state code.
Make a motion to go into closed session to discuss initiating litigation to take title of abandoned property as allowed in section 21.5C of the state code.
We got set up in the back room here.
Second.
And more technical chairs.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're in closed session. We're going back.